We have a lot of parrots flying around this morning. The bigger white ones are the cockatoos, and the smaller white ones are the corellas. Oh my gosh, everyone's flying all over the place today. No one wants to share. What are you doing upside down? There's a few in the trees in the background. They may be the young ones. They're waiting for the adults to finish eating and then they'll come down. The dog scared him away. Dogs are outside in the backyard there. There's still a lot over here, just hanging out, waiting to eat. The cockatoos tend to wait for the corellas to finish eating, which is really strange because they're twice their size. Kookaburra there, more corellas in the tree. Oh, there's a cockatoo. G'day guys, welcome back. Doing something new today. Well, a little bit new. It's a swipe, but with no silicone oil in any of the colours or the swipe colour. And I'm going to add the silicone afterwards and see what happens. Just using an old canvas. I've got so many canvases. A lot of them I'm not that happy with, so I'm just going to pour over them because I've got way too many. I'll show you a couple of previous pours that are now dry. That was the waterfall pour, just in black and white. So dried really pretty. Got some nice little fingerlings, got some cells in the middle. So that was the black and white. And then that one, that was kind of like a cloudy wing pour that I did. So that's turned out really pretty as well. Again, lots of little fingerlings and some little cells in the middle. That was blue and navy and the milk paint for the cloudy sort of wings. So those are those done. Get them out of the way and we shall get on to today's pour. Now I'm using my usual glue and water mix. 60% glue, this is Elmer's glue oil, and 40% water. I make it up in a big 3 litre or 4 litre jug like that. And then I can just decant it into my easy to use squeeze bottle that I can then pour into my cups. So when I'm doing my flip cup pours, I use 1:1 with that pouring mix and Mont Marte. But for a swipe, I need it to be a little bit thinner. So I have 1.5 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. So that's 60 grams of pouring medium to 40 grams of paint. Okay, so this is it here, the Mont Marte, and you can buy it in the 2 litre, you can buy it in the little 75 ml. So the blue is that one there, cerulean, no it's not, deep cyan, that's that one. The magenta is this one, that's just turquoise, that's brilliant red, this is yellow with a little bit of, tiny little bit of orange. So those are my colours. And then I'm going to swipe with black. Now the swipe colour always has to be a little bit thinner. So instead of being 1.5:1, it's 2:1, and that's just my black. So I just made up a little bit of that. 30 grams of pouring medium, 1 ounce, to 15 grams, half an ounce to of the black. So doesn't leave a mound. These ones kind of leave like a little pyramid, not really a mound, but just sort of a pyramid. Leaves a tiny little trace for a second. So much thinner than a flip cup pour. Yeah, so let's get going and then I will explain to you what I'm going to do with my silicone oil. And my little, I don't know if it's going to work, my birthday candles stuck together. So I'm going to dip. Anyway, I'll move those out of the way for a minute and I'll start layering these gorgeous paints. I wanted really bright colours. And I probably won't need all this paint. Maybe I can get 2 pours out of it. won't scrape the cups for now. I'll just pour out and see what happens. And the yellow. I haven't actually poured for a week. It's been a week. Last weekend I did a few pours so that I had something to upload sort of every day, but I'm now out of all my videos. Sunday today, so I'm hoping to do a few pours today because then I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and yeah, I won't have a chance to pour till Thursday or Friday. So if I do a few today, then I can still upload sort of one a day for you. So that's the plan anyway. Okay, so that looks pretty, doesn't it? Hopefully they won't go too muddy. Now it's just a matter of getting the paint over the surface and over the corners. So there's plenty here. So there's enough to go around. So just basically covering all your sides, all your edges. You don't want to leave too much paint on the surface. It'll be a bit too thick. It might crack, won't dry properly. And when you do get cells, they'll just grow too big. They'll sort of spread all over the place. So am I covered everywhere? Maybe not there. Okay, I think that's it. Let me just wipe my hands. And then we'll pour the black on. Just going to pour some black over the top there and swipe down once because it's not a very big canvas. It's not really big enough to do, you know, half up and half down. I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to. I'm actually going to just torch because there's a lot of bubbles, but I don't have to worry about cells because, yeah, there's no oil in here. I can see lots and lots of bubbles because I've just mixed this paint this morning. Alright, once I swipe, all those little bubbles will get pulled away. And I've got my little piece of paper towel there to catch this is my plastic sheet that I use. I always use this. Just a document holder cut up, or whatever piece of plastic you can find. I still get people saying, what's the plastic sheet? It's just a piece of plastic. So yeah, just from an office supply place, get a piece of plastic or cut up a little document holder or a file divider, whatever you can find. Now you don't need very much of the black. I'm going to pour some on the very edge so that it can just sort of fall over the back there, and then a little bit over the front. Like so. Did all that go over? Did I go over the back? Hope so. So yeah, so you don't need a lot. Just let it fall over the back so that you've got a black covering there on the back. And then all you need to do, I just want to make sure I've got enough black. You don't need a lot, you really don't. But I don't want to touch the very top of the canvas because I might get a bit of a bald spot if you touch the very edge. Now there's always like a little bit of a bump and then the canvas comes down, so don't touch the very edge. Okay, hold it down the bottom, don't hold it on the sides because look what's happening. See, it's bending up. Hold it on the bottom, just gently, 1 foot in front of the other so you can transfer your weight. Touch the black only if you can and carefully drag towards you. Oops, I'm going a bit wobbly. There we go. And then that's where your paper towel comes in handy because you can just clean that straight off your piece of plastic. Okay. Because I've got no cells, I don't need to worry about overstretching or anything, but I'm just trying to see. I'm not quite sure if I should swipe again. See, I did have a lot of black there, hey. Just going to bring that black down a little bit, I think. And it can go over the bottom here. Not worried too much about the sides. I can always touch them up later. Okay. Just going to wipe my little bit of plastic, make it a bit easier to wash up later on if it's not covered in paint. Right, so the next step is, now I have no idea if it's going to work because I haven't done this before. I've done it with milk paint, but I haven't done it with silicone. So basically, as I said, I've just put birthday candles, joined them together with an elastic band, and I'm going to put silicone in there, and I'm going to dip it in, and I'm going to dip on here and see what happens. It's a bit of a shame to pour all this silicone in. I'm going to put a tiny bit in, just enough to cover, because this is so expensive. So just enough to cover the bottom there. Now it's a bit tricky because the candles are different heights, as you can see, but I've pushed them down, and then I've kind of tapped each one with a pen or something just to make sure that they're all, doesn't matter if they're not even on the top, but they all have to be even on the bottom, so hopefully they are. So let's try this. Dip it in the silicone. Hopefully it's all in, and we'll just go for it. Oh, look at that. And then I'm just going to clean it off again because I don't want the colour from there transferring. Let's do another one. Press a little bit harder on that one. So we'll just see what happens. They don't look as if they're as bright as, you know, if I was doing a normal swipe with oil in it and then torching. They don't look as bright as that, but I just wanted to see what would happen. Have a play, hey? Let's try up here in this darker black area. Oh, got some yellow popping through there. I'm trying not to spray my oil anywhere. I think maybe it's getting a few little drips here and there. I'm just going to knock these again, make sure that they're all still flat on the bottom, because they might move a little bit, I think. Just as I'm moving it, it may just move a touch. Right, so not much going to happen in there. That's where I had too much black. You know how I kept pouring black on? Well, I shouldn't have. Shouldn't have. So we'll just continue with them down here, and we'll leave the top area as more black, I guess. Just wiping the little edges each time. The little ends, just because I don't want to transfer the colours over. So yeah, as I said, not as bright as if I was doing with my normal swipe with cells, but hey, it's still interesting. I'll just keep going and fill up this area. I don't know why it's gone a little bit muddy, not sure. Might just be my colour choice, or maybe too much yellow and orange down here. Up here is really bright, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Now I can feel that they're going a little bit wonky, so I'll just straighten them all up again. Hopefully I've got enough silicone in here to do the last few little dots. it does seem to be much brighter up here than it does down here, doesn't it? I don't know why. I wouldn't have thought that, but that's the way it is, for sure. So just having a bit of a play, a bit of an experiment with something different today. It's hard coming up with new things all the time. New things to do. But if you guys want to see me try something, let me know. I'll have a go at it. Can't say I'd be any good at it, but I'll certainly have a go at it. Because, you know, new things, they're new to everyone. Now, the other thing, I'll leave it like that. I'm a bit disappointed how they're so quite muddy down here. I'm not quite sure why that is. Some of them are really bright, and then down here they're a little bit more muddy. You should see my runoff, it's really muddy. Okay, well that was fun. May not be the best, but look, it was fun. And I've been wanting to try it for ages. Now the other thing, I wonder, no, I won't. I was thinking about, I'll just get my little combs. See, I've got these like perm combs, but they're not, the little comb teeth there aren't in a row, they're kind of ziggy-zaggy. But this I think I'll use another time, and it might like drag through or like do lines or like chameleon cells, that kind of thing, you know, in a row. So those are something to play with later on. But for today, I'm just going to leave it like that. Less is more. I'll take you in for a close-up. Let's see what you think. As I said, I'm a bit disappointed that they're not very bright. I thought, you know, I'm using really bright colours. I thought that they would be brighter, but no. I mean, you could go crazy and do many more if you wanted to, but I think that's enough for me. So up here they are brighter. They're kind of, they've got colours inside them as well. Oh, it's not doing very good on a black background, is it? A bit of a glare today. This one's nice and bright. A bit glary. Maybe if I come around this way, just can't get a good shot at it, I'm sorry. It's just too glary today. I'll stand this way in front of the window. It's probably the best I can get. Oh, look at that. I can turn the temperature, the light down. All right, quick pan over again. I'm having no luck with this. I changed the temperature and then I can't focus. All right, it's too glary. I'm just going to leave it at that. I can't really show you a close-up. Stand back here and yeah, have a go. That was fun. I guess these will keep growing a little bit. If your mix is really thin, they will just keep growing and growing, but you can actually see some like space around each one. Each little cell is its own little cell. So if you make it too thin, your mix, they'll just all sort of wobble into each other and bump into each other, and you'll lose that little circle ring effect. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. That was fun. Okay, thanks for watching. I am off to do another pour now. I want to try a swipe with the milk paint cloudy mix. See how I go with a swipe with a cloudy mix. Do you think that would work? We shall see. I'll do that one next. All right, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.